this great knowledge of Bhagavad-Gita, which was spoken almost 5,000 years back, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. And at that time, at that place, Arjuna was the person who was receiving this knowledge. And to make this knowledge understand for the people who are there in Kali Yuga, our parampara, acharyas, have taken lot of efforts over the last 5,000 years to convey as precisely, as practical, even till today, and hope this knowledge flows through in the coming generations as well. I really bow down my obeisances to all the senior acharyas or the senior devotees who have taken all the efforts in propagating this message. Okay, so we welcome all of you to the ninth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. I think I already mentioned that the middle six chapters are the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Right? Earlier I have taken the example of two breads, sandwich, jam and all. So this middle six chapter, which is Bhakti Yoga, deals with Bhakti Yoga, is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. And in these six chapters also, ninth chapter is known as essence of Bhagavad Gita. Similar to third chapter where we we dealt with Karma Yoga. If you notice, there are two chapters dealing with Karma Yoga. There are two chapters which are dealing with Karma Yoga. Krishna mentions Arjuna about Karma Yoga, and fifth chapter, I think the same Karma Yoga is repeated in fifth chapter. He goes much deeper. He goes much deeper. Now similarly, though in the eighth chapter we have dealt about Bhakti Yoga, where Krishna, he mentions what is our goal. He talks about spiritual world. There is a spiritual world, that is the goal of life. That's what he mentions in the 8th chapter. But in the 9th chapter, what is spiritual world he mentioned, but how we have to go to spiritual world, that he mentions in 9th chapter. Okay. So anyway, we will do a quick recap of the 8th chapter, where do you remember how many questions Arjuna asked in the first two shlokas of 8th chapter? He asks Krishna about what is self, what is Brahman, what is Adibhuta, what is Adideva, what is karmic activities, what is fruitative activities, and finally he asks about how one can attain you through devotion service. That is the final question. So total 8 questions he asks in the first two shlokas of 8th chapter. That was his doubts. What is Brahman? Because Brahman, there are a lot of situations where Brahman is used synonymously for the effulgence of the Lord. Even sometimes Brahman is used for mana Jivatma kuda Brahman antam. We tell that Jivatma is also sometimes in some context it is used as Brahman, even for our soul. So these are the 8 questions what he asks, and in these 8 questions, the first 7 questions he answers in the 3rd and 4th shlokas. What are these? And Srila Prabhupada mentions very wonderfully in his purports, elaborately explaining what are the self, what is Brahman, what is Adideva, what is Adibhuta, and all he mentions. I don't want to dwell again. But all the doubts he clarifies in the first 8th chapter. Doubts he mentions, all the doubts he clears. And second, he talks about end of life. What we need to do, what happens at the end of life when we leave the body. There are so many instances where where people would be leaving the body with different consciousness. I have seen people passing by, leaving the body with there are situations, there are so many examples closely I have seen, where a person who is about to die in 3 days time, and one family goes and meets just to solace or to tell or to having a final touch with that person. They go and he is watching Jabardast in the Continental Hospital. He knows that he is dying in 3 days, and he is seeing Jabardast. And for the devotees like Bhaskar Prabhu, he might not be knowing what is Jabardast, right? Jabardast is a very popular program in Telugu serials where a lot of silly, double meaning, lot of vulgar jokes they play, and people they do watch. Okay, so he was watching Jabardast, and he knows that he is leaving in 3 days time. And at one end, that is the one thing. And just last week, I have met one Mataji, Barsana Rani Mataji, who joined in Sparsh Hospice. How many of you know it? Sparsh Hospice, which is right in the Khajaguda, right adjacent to my. Who is not coming? Charging. Who is it? Charging was not there. Connect. It is charging. Thank you. Okay, so I have given an extreme example of Continental, and just 1 week back, just exactly 1 week back, Barsana Rani Mataji, she's a doctor by the way, doctor by profession, and her lungs, she's in a final stage of cancer, and she knows that in 1 week time she is going to leave the body, and with kind permission of her husband and other devotees and her kids also, she requested them that I don't want to get into ventilator, and I wanted to, without any external equipment, I wanted to leave my body here. So Sparsh Hospice is, all of you know Green Grace, right? Green Grace apartment, everyone knows, right? So right adjacent to Green Grace, we are having Oak Ridge International School is there, right? Adjacent to Oak Ridge International, just right adjacent to Oak Ridge International, we are having a Sparsh Hospice. Sparsh Hospice is a place where, it's like a Vruddhashramam, or for old age people, or the people who are leaving the body, they generally come there. So she took the permission of her husband and kids that I don't want to live with the external equipments on my body, and one request what she made was, one senior devotee has asked, she has asked one senior devotee, I am leaving in another few days, can you arrange bhajan by Shivaram Prabhu. Shivaram Prabhu is one of the famous devotees in ISKCON whose bhajans are really ecstatic, and his timetable is full, his schedule is very full, and it's almost impossible to get his schedule. So she requested, before leaving her body, she requested that I want that Shivaram Prabhu bhajan to be played. So her initiating guru, Radhana Swami Maharaj, he ordered Shivaram Prabhu to come here and do bhajan, and we were the people who got benefited. Though the bhajan went in her in the third floor of that hospice only for 1 hour, but he stayed with us in our Green Grace community for almost 2 days, and both the 2 days we had bhajan, we had a discourse from him. Generally, to get his time is very difficult, and our ISKCON Abbots Temple authorities have given a schedule of every one hour each and every devotee can go and play bhajan and read Bhagavatam for her. So on Monday last week we got a slot of going there, playing bhajan and reading Bhagavatam for her. And when I went there, her face was glowing. Actually, it was not at all felt like she is in a fear or anxiety that she is leaving body. Actually, it was like, near Kodaikanal altunanu, I need to go to Kodaikanal. Kids, after the exams are over, if we say that I am taking you to Ooty and Kodaikanal, how happy they will be feeling. Like that, her happiness was there. I think still she is there. I think she has not left the body, but anytime she will be leaving the body. So that's how the end of life. If one remembers, I don't want to repeat this again. The end of life in the 8th chapter we already discussed. Like end of life, we have to remember. That should be our endeavor to remember Krishna. And in the hospital room, in front of her eyes, her Guru Maharaj was there, Narsimhadev was there, Krishna photos were there, and all around were there. And every 1 hour, each and every devotee family will go and do kirtan and read something for her. Her favorite bhajan is Vrindavan Ramyasthana. Vrindavana Ramyasthana. What is it? I don't know. Huh? Chintamani Dhama, Vrindavana, Ramyasthana, Chintamani Dhama. Like that, there is one bhajan is that is her favorite bhajan. So we sang that also, and a couple of other bhajans we sang, and we just talked about Bhagavatam a little bit, and she was very happy on that. But first time I was seeing a person with that closely where there is no anxiety of leaving the body. So anyway, that's what we have discussed in the second chapter of our second lesson of 8th chapter, that end of life we need to be practical, we need to remember practically on Krishna tells about, we need to remember Krishna while leaving the body, and he also gives the practical tips of remembering Krishna while leaving the body. And also he gives a trailer how the spiritual world looks. ఆధ్యాత్మిక జగత్తు వైకుంఠ లోకాలు ఎలా ఉంటాయి. He has given a trailer. He gives a trailer. Spiritual to attract. Sometimes for tourism we attract, right? Our Hyderabad is, what do you think about our Hyderabad? Our Hyderabad having a Ramanujacharya statue, biggest statue in the world, and all we try to tell that, right? Similarly, Krishna also tells about spiritual world, how it looks, how it is, and all he talks about in the second chapter, and give a practical tips to remember him. And the third lesson what we see is attaining the supreme. Like anyone who performs the devotional service to himself, and what are the benefits he is going to get. That's what he discusses in the attaining the supreme. Whoever performs devotional service towards him, what are the benefits he is going to get. That's what Krishna discusses in the third lesson of the 8th chapter. And even at the time of death, one of the though there might be, we will be calling so many times unalloyed devotion, right? You might have heard this term, unalloyed devotion. What is the meaning of unalloyed? Any idea? No mixing. That's right. So because in karma yoga and ashtanga yoga karma yoga, and gnana yoga, in all those things there is a possibility of mixture. There is a mix. Karma yoga, only karma yoga means that some masala also would be there. Because generally, especially grihasthashram, who are not dedicatedly in the path of bhakti from childhood, they might be giving the results to Krishna, but again they will be trying to mix up with the middle people also for some times. So there is a mixing. There is not a pure. All other aspects is not pure, but bhakti is unalloyed. That means there is no mixture or no impurity in bhakti. So that's what Krishna talks about when what do you mean by unalloyed devotion, and who performs this. He also talks about in the attaining the supreme. It's not only about devotees, but also how yogis remember Krishna. They, through the Shat Chakra system, by closing all the holes in the body, they will ensure that the soul is leaving the body. If the soul leaves the body from any holes of the face, it is possible to go to the heavenly planets. But if it goes to the holes through the below portion of the body, they go to hell. So they do all those things, and they even need to leave the body in the daylight of Uttarayan, Shukla Paksha, and a lot of rules are there for them to live. But who are devotees, for them there is no rule. That's what Krishna assures. There is no need to force your body that much to come to heavenly abode or Vaikuntha Lokas. You can perform devotional service and come. That's what Krishna assures in this chapter. And the devotees who have spent their time, ఎవరైతే భక్తుడు తన కోసమే తన గురించే పనిచేస్తారో, he takes personal care of them. Don't you think the Barsana Rani Mataji whom you are referring, I don't have any doubt that Krishna personally would come and take her. Seriously. అది నమ్మడానికి చాలా కష్టంగా ఉంటుంది, కానీ అది నిజం. తెలుసా యాక్చువల్లీ ఇఫ్ యూ సీ ద ఫేస్ ఆల్సో యూ నో ఫైనల్లీ ఆఫ్టర్ 1 hour bhajan we just touched their feet and told her, please pray for us Mataji. Because Krishna would be taking her, so we told her that please pray for her Mataji, pray for us Mataji. That's what we told and left after 1 hour. So that Krishna even assures that I personally take care of devotees who have spent their life for them. Life, day in, day out, they have spent for it. Krishna. Okay, that's what the assurance Krishna gives in the third lesson of the eighth chapter. And last one is devotion. There, that's where he introduced devotion. And after coming to the devotion service, so many things. When before coming to devotion service, lot of people think that ఏంట్రా బాబు ఈ భక్తి అనేది ఒక సెంటిమెంటల్ విషయం, ఇది ఏదో మూలెళ్ళి చాటింగ్ చేసుకుంటారు, ఒక సెంటిమెంటల్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్లో పీపుల్ దే జనరలీ బిహేవ్. దట్స్ వాట్ ద జనరల్ నోషన్ పీపుల్ హ్యావ్ who sees the people in bhakti. But actually, once a person comes to bhakti, they realize that it's not, you know, it's a working, it's a practical thing, it's not a sentimental thing. భక్తిలో ఉన్న వాళ్ళతో అడిగితే అర్థమవుతుంది. సో ఇట్స్ నాట్ యూ కెన్ మామూలు వాళ్ళు కూడా కాదు. యాక్చువల్లీ మనం మెటీరియలిస్టిక్ స్టాండర్డ్లో చూస్తే కినా దెర్ ఆర్ సో మెనీ పీపుల్ ఇన్ అవర్ ఓన్ కాంగ్రిగేషన్, దెర్ ఆర్ పీపుల్ లైక్ కంట్రీ హెడ్స్, కంపెనీ హెడ్స్ who are into this our satsang where Sanjay Prabhu, Sunil Prabhu, they are also not ordinary people. They are having their big roles in their respective organizations. So it's not a simple thing, it's not an emotional platform thing or emotional activity what we are doing. Okay, so that's what Krishna assures them, it's not a sentimental platform, but it's a very practical thing. So just putting a faith on logic of chanting, how can one attain? Lot of people might be thinking, utti chanting చేయగలనే ఏమవుతుంది బాసు, ఇప్పుడు నేను హరే కృష్ణ 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 చాంటింగ్ చేస్తున్నాను, దాని బదులు సమంత 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 అంటే చాంటింగ్ చేస్తాను, ఏంటి డిఫరెన్స్? సమంత రైట్?
No, if you take one glass of water in front of you,
yeah,
and water, yeah, it will not
come to you.
But if you chant Krishna, Krishna,
yes,
it will come.
That's the potency of each and every word of the mantra. Word of the mantra. So the people who chant, you ask them what is the happiness they get. So so putting a faith on chanting is very important, and and with hard work we can get good marks. Similar to when we do hard work, మనం కష్టపడి చదివితే మన పిల్లలకి చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి చెప్పేది అదే కదా, that if you do hard work you will get good marks. Similarly, if you play cricket, generally when I am basically leg side player, when whatever the ball I get, I try to hit, always try to hit leg side. That's easy for me. Actually, there are situations where Mahesh Gadu only he will hit in leg side only. That's the notion people have, and they used to bowl that way only. They used to bowl in the offside, wide mark would be there, right? Tram line would be there. Exactly at that end they will bowl. I used to move that side and hit leg side only. So that was, I used to play leg side. Later, I developed playing offside also. So with practice you can get anything. It's not only material things but also bhakti as well. How material things are practically we will be able to do it, even bhakti is also a very practical thing which really gives ultimate happiness. That bliss you can experience if you talk to the people who are experiencing it. Okay, so that's what Krishna talks about in the devotion, the fourth lesson of the 8th chapter. Now coming to today's topic, today's 9th chapter, which is BG chapter 9, King. Why we have given King? Because 9th chapter is the important test chapter. Essence of first, as I told, middle chapters are essence of Bhagavadgita, and 9th chapter is essence of Bhagavadgita. So that's very, very much important. So again we have divided into 4 lessons. King, we have called this King because it is king of knowledge, Raja Vidya. Bhagavad-gita is also called Raja Vidya, king of knowledge, and also called Raja Guhyam, king of secrets. The secret which even if you put in front of you with proper guidance you will not understand. What is secret, right? Generally secret అనేది ఒక మనిషికి actually secret definition is which is not gone beyond one person. If it is known to second person, it's no more secret. But I am keeping a book in front of you, still you are not able to understand the secret. That is very unfortunate, because even if you keep the book in front of a PhD holder, you will not be able to understand. He might be thinking he understood, but he will not understand. Only with proper guidance from acharyas or gurus he will understand. What is secret? Alanti secret ekkadena untada? నాకు తెలిసి అయితే ఉండదు. భగవద్గీత is the only top of the secrets, top secrets. So why, so anyway, we will I can go on, but now the king, we have divided. So just as Krishna also tells, just as a pearl is hidden in a shell, the essence of Bhagavad Gita is hidden in the middle of the Krishna Arjuna conversation. In this chapter, Krishna outlines the most secret of all secrets. Ingoti, there is one more item, why this Bhagavad Gita, knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is having a special characteristics. There are 8 characteristics why this knowledge is very special. As I told, one is Raja Vidya, king of all the knowledge. Because all other materialistic knowledge, they deal with how we need to live in this material world properly, bindas, enjoy. ఎలా జీవించాలనేది మన మెటీరియల్ నాలెడ్జ్ చెప్తుంది. వెదర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ అవర్ ఇంజనీరింగ్, వెదర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ సైకాలజీ, హ్యుమానిటీస్ అండ్ ఆల్, వాట్ ఎవర్ ఇట్ ఈస్, ఇట్ ఓన్లీ డీల్స్ విత్ ద మెటీరియల్ సబ్జెక్ట్స్. ఇట్ విల్ నాట్ టాక్ అబౌట్ లివింగ్ దిస్ మెటీరియల్ వరల్డ్. That is why it is king of, first characteristics, Raja Vidya, king of knowledge. Second one is Raja Guhyam, it is king of the secrets. King of the secret. Do you think any other secret is there beyond this? Very tough question, right? So, and the third one is this knowledge is the one which purifies us. That's why it is called Pavitram. That is the third characteristics. And fourth characteristics is, it is fourth characteristic is Avyayam. Avyayam means it won't decrease with time. It won't decrease with time. That knowledge it is applicable 5,000 years back, 10,000 years back, and it will be applicable even after 10,000 years back. That's why it is called Avyayam. Avyayam means highest perfection of thing. So another thing is removal from illusion, that is Uttamam. This knowledge removes one from illusion, that is why called it is Uttamam. Raja Vidya, Guhya Vidya, Pavitram, Uttamam, Avyayam and Dharmyam. It is top of the all religion. Whatever the religion we are talking, this is the top knowledge among the religion. So that is 5. Avyayam is everlasting knowledge. And you can, another one is Pratyaksha Vagamam, means you can experience in person. That is the 7th characteristics of this knowledge. You can experience yourself, you can experience the results of it yourself. There is no need that I do and someone will experience it. Sometimes you do the work in the office, but some other people get benefited, right? But here you do, you get the results. And last characteristic of this Bhagavad Gita knowledge is, it has to be performed joyfully. Yedustu kaadu, joyfully. And for that, what characteristics you require as a person? Simple heart and firm faith. That's it. కానీ మనకున్న ఈ నాలెడ్జ్తో ఏంటంటే మనకు ఆ సింపుల్ ఫెయిత్ రావట్లా. మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ అస్ మనకున్న మెటీరియల్ నాలెడ్జ్లు, బీటెక్లు, ఎంటెక్లు, నెలకి 2-3 లక్షల శాలరీలు వస్తుంటే బిందాస్ అనేది ఉంది, కానీ బట్ that knowledge we won't be getting it. So these are the 8 characteristics why Bhagavad Gita is great. Okay, now coming to the knowledge what we are talking about, king. Today's again same thing, every chapter we divide into 4 lessons, and today we are dividing this into 4 lessons. And king we have chosen, and first one is knowledge, and second one is inconceivable relationships, third one is non-worship, fourth one is glories of bhakti. So now in this knowledge you might be we know that it is a Raja Vidya or Guhya Vidya, confidential knowledge. What is the comparative speech, superlative speech of this verb Adya? Confidential का comparative वो आया ना, comparative superlative मालूम है ना? हाँ, क्या है confidential का comparative word क्या है, superlative word क्या है? I will give an example. Long, longer, longest, right? Similarly for confidential क्या है? Any guesses? It is not confidential, confidentialist नहीं.
More confidential.
Yes, more confidential, most confidential. Okay, now Krishna talks about confidentiality in second to sixth chapters, and more confidentiality in second to sixth chapters, and more confidential he talks about from sixth to eighth chapter, and most confidential. Now, what is confidential knowledge? Confidential knowledge is the knowledge between soul and body. చాలా మందికి జీవాత్మ అండ్ శరీరంకి మధ్యలో డిఫరెన్స్ తెలియదు. ఇప్పుడు బయటికి వెళ్ళి అడిగారంటే అసలు నీకు జీవాత్మ అన్న శరీరం అంటే నువ్వు ఎవరు, జీవాత్మవా బాడీ అంటే సమాధానం చెప్పలేరు. లాట్ ఆఫ్ పీపుల్ డోంట్ నో, అండ్ దట్స్ అ ఫ్యాక్ట్. ఐఎమ్ సారీ టు సే బట్ దట్స్ అ ఫ్యాక్ట్. But being in this satsang or this platform, we at least know that we are souls, we are not bodies. Okay, so that who has a understanding of soul and body, that is called confidential information. Now, more confidential. What is the more confidential information? More confidential information is the knowledge between soul and super soul. జీవాత్మకి పరమాత్మకి మధ్యలో తేడా ఏంటి అండ్ వాటి మధ్యలో రిలేషన్షిప్ ఏంటి, that is more confidential knowledge. Am I clear? Yes. So that's what he talks about in in the guhya. Guhya means secret or confidential, and guhyatara means knowledge. Yeah, guhyatara means more confidential, and that is knowledge of bhakti, that is understanding the difference between soul and super soul. Okay. Now last one is guhyatama. Guhyatama means when you come across stage of loving Krishna, that is very rare. It's very rare to see such people who have the most confidential knowledge. They experience Krishna. They experience literally. It's very difficult to assume, but they experience Krishna. They talk to Krishna. They talk to Krishna who is there inside their heart, adjacent to their heart. It is something like we too have Paramatma, but our mirror is very polluted. And the pure devotees and who understand the most confidential knowledge, they talk to Krishna. Their mirror is very clear. Krishna is clearly visible in their heart. And we need to associate with that kind of devotees. And whenever there is an opportunity, in fact, unfortunately, I could not attend yesterday. I think I sent one message yesterday about what is that Prabhuji name? Yugal Kishore Prabhu. Yeah, Yugal Kishore Prabhuji. He is a senior devotee who is there in US, and he has changed so many families, and he brought in a lot of families in Krishna consciousness. He has come from this short trip. He has come to India, and he came to my home. Unfortunately, yesterday was my kids' PTM, so PTM I could not go. Parent teacher meeting I could not go. Almost 3 hours I went there only. So we need to get association, and that kind of devotees who understand the most confidential knowledge, they really experience the love of Krishna, and that's what. And they could see the Swayam Bhagwan in their heart, and developing that loving relationship with Bhagwan is one of the 5 rasas. In many of the 5 rasas, it's not that always there might be some devotees who wanted to cherish the loving relationship with Krishna as a son, as a mother, as a lover, as a friend. In all the 5 rasas, you can have a loving relationship with Krishna. One Mataji, when I was there in Stockholm for 1.5 years, and their Tapas Prabhu was the Prabhuji, and the Mataji was Lajjavati Mataji. So we every Saturday we used to do Harinam Sankirtan in the city center of Stockholm. So whenever we used to go out. She used to carry the Laddu Gopal. She used to treat Krishna as her son. They don't have children. So she used to treat Krishna as son. And we went to Italy in Prabhupada Desh, where our my aspiring spiritual guru Radhana Swami Maharaj came to Italy. So I went along with them. The Mataji was carrying a Laddu Gopal along with her, small Laddu Gopal, and she used to offer prasadam day, morning, afternoon. I mean, when a materialistic person sees like this, పిచ్చా వెర్రా ఏంది బొమ్మను పట్టుకొని ప్రసాదం అని అనుకుంటారు. బట్ దట్స్ ద రస వాట్ షీ ఈజ్ ఇన్, మదర్లీ రస. So that's what Krishna reciprocates. So that's the most confidential knowledge. What he's talking about, knowledge of Kevala Bhakti, most confidential, describes the majestic aspect of Aishwarya and excellence of pure devotee. So in different opulences, devotee have a bhakti towards Krishna. So whichever rasa, that's what he talks about here in Guhyatama. Okay. So now in this. Here you are seeing, right? So this is the confidential knowledge of the soul. There you are seeing. Music might be a little scary. Yeah. So it's the soul leaving the body there. Okay. So that's the knowledge of the soul where in Bhagavadgita it is mentioned those who are seers. I don't want to dwell it. I think you already know. So this is the confidential knowledge. And next comes this is the understanding the pastimes of Krishna and in which rasa he wanted to worship Krishna. It is mentioned. Okay, so this is simply given different aspects of how we can worship. So Krishna glorifies this knowledge and he is about to reveal knowledge of bhakti and realization of Krishna by non-enviousness. Yeah. Here in the very first sloka he talks about Bhagavan Uvacha idam tu te guhyatamam pravakshyami anusuyave Gnanam Vignana Sahitam Yad Jnatva Mokshasi Subhat. So here these two words are very important. Guhyatamam and Anusuyave. What is the meaning of Anusuyave? Any guesses? What is the meaning of Anusuyave? Huh? What is the meaning of Anusuyave? Non-jealous. Yes, very good. So Anusuyave. So Krishna gives this knowledge because Arjuna is his friend and non-envious of him. So that's what he reiterates that point that since you are non-envious of me and you trust me, I give this knowledge to you. And again this is coming. Yeah. So this is the point he stresses a lot, and the same point is conveyed in multiple other shlokas as well. And this particular issue of Anusuyave is, bhakti is, these two terms are very important, Prabhuji Mataji. As I said, Guhyatamam and Anusuyave. Guhyatamam means the most secret knowledge. Guhyatama. Guhyam, Guhyatara, Guhyatamam. Guhya is confidential knowledge, Guhyatara is more confidential knowledge, Guhyatama is most confidential knowledge. That's what he stresses out here. And Anusuyava is the point where he gives this knowledge to Arjuna since he is non-envious of him. That's what the point he stresses. So bhakti is a secret king which purifies one's own existence and its knowledge of his opulences. And so many scholars, like it is shown here, so many scholars are there. It's not only foreign scholars what you are seeing here, but also in India there are a lot of scholars who might be very well versed with shlokas, Vedanta sutras, and they might be telling left and right shlokas. You after seeing that mantrocharana, you might be liking and getting attracted. But we need to understand that we should see whether he is in parampara or not, whether it is in Guru parampara or not. That we need to understand. So many might criticize Krishna because finding faults without knowing the knowledge is dangerous. If you are not knowing about a person, how you can comment? If you are commenting on someone, you should know about him, right? So recently, last session also I told, one person pinged me, messaged me, Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. How he can dance with the wives of other people in Vrindavan and all. He was quoting. Prabhuji, do you know about Krishna first of all? You are directly going to 10th canto of Bhagavatam, trying to read about Rasa dance. Why are you not trying to read from the first? I told him. First you read from, then I will tell. I told him. So so without a proper understanding, if we try to understand Krishna, it is very there is a possibility of not understanding. Goal of life is itself completely missed. So we should make an endeavor to know about a person first, and then try to conclude. Okay. So that's what is mentioned, and that's why we have to hear always in parampara. And Krishna says, "You are my friend and devotee, and never misunderstands me." And he has a firm faith on Krishna, and he has no doubt at all. A lot of people might be, if you ask student or a person, you might be saying, where did you study? I studied in IIT. Where did you did your post graduation? I did it in Oxford University. Where did you work? I worked in Microsoft as a head of the department. If you say, then you see how much proud you are having. If you say it is not the right. We are asking him, who are you? He is telling him, who is he? What is wrong in it? What proud is it is? So like that, Krishna also tells, I am God. Who are you? I am God. He is God. Already he has proven. There is no need to tell that he is not a God. He has already proven with lot of past tense. Lot of past tense. I don't want to get into that past tense. No other God or no other person has these many past tense as Krishna. For sure. So we should not misunderstand Krishna that he is proud that he is saying I am God. He is God, so he is saying he is God. What is wrong in it? Okay, so that's what the point he stresses out, and that's what the point he stresses out again and again, that we should hear from only parampara. For example, you can ask me, Prabhuji, what is the guarantee that you are in parampara? You are also saying no, like that. Somebody might quote today. For example, if I am quoting something wrong and giving a wrong philosophy to the devotees who are coming and every Sunday. I mean, see, it's not that Sanjay Prabhu or Sunil Prabhu are like CADs, but if something wrong I am saying, they are having every right to complain to ISKCON Abits or my Shiksha Guru. See, Prabhuji, Mahesh is giving a wrong philosophy here. Try to understand. And my Shiksha Guru monitors everything, whatever I do, whatever the activity I do. So if something wrong I am saying, Krishna takes very seriously, because when we are sitting in a position of Vyasasana, it is very important position. And we need to give a right knowledge and try to clarify the things. Okay, so that's what Krishna stresses on importance of being in parampara and understanding the knowledge in parampara. So some might misinterpret with their own words and know their own spiritual literature. There are a lot of people in the market who produces their own spiritual literature. I have personally seen a lot of people. Brahman is the ultimate thing. In my village, there are a lot of Taitra Siddhanta. I think something like Taitra Siddhanta people are there in my village, in the vicinity of village, where they propagate that Brahman is the ultimate. Brahman is the ultimate. That's what they propagate, which is not right. So we should be careful about that. And Shastras say, Kohinoor diamond, right? When some snakes have Kohinoor diamond. No, not Kohinoor, generally diamond. They have diamond, right? Some snakes, they say, I don't know whether the snakes right now are there with diamonds or not, I'm not sure. But in the past, there used to be snakes who carry diamond. But if you try to touch the diamond, will the snake bite or not? It will bite, right? So similarly, when we try to gain the knowledge from non-sampradaya people, it is similar to the diamond what we are taking from the snake. So we should be very careful. When we are trying to understand the spiritual knowledge, you need to first inquire whether you are in parampara or not. There are a lot of people, when they question like this, their agents will come and take you out. It has happened with my guru, with my Shiksha Guru once. So we should be careful. Okay. So in India, so many Krishna Kathas happen, so many Bhakti channel stuff happen, so many people talk about God and all. Why people will not get the tinge of Bhakti is due to their lineage. They are not talking from their any discipline. They are not following any disciplinic succession due to that. That we need to understand. Okay, so as they because most of them, they will teach you that God is impersonal. I don't know, have you come across anything like that in your life? Anyone who told that God is impersonal, God is Brahman? Have you come across anyone? Yes or no? Or if you are not come across, then you are great. You are untouched with impurity. That's good. Yeah. Okay. So so we need to check in this. We need to seriously we need to check about the person who is there, whether that person is there in parampara or not, and they will teach you that God is impersonal. So we need to. They always try to propagate that you can merge with the God once you slowly become one. Then you can become God. It is something like when you attain, when you practice slowly, you are getting some energies from God. That is the picture what they give. So you can one day you also can become God. That's the knowledge. That's the thing what they are trying to propagate. So we need to be very careful about that. So
when Krishna is saying to surrender, not that we have to surrender to Krishna. Actually, we should surrender to Brahma, speaking through Krishna. Personal character.
1 minute. I think I need to. Where is audio? Okay. Now I will explain.
When Krishna is saying to surrender, not that we have to surrender to Krishna. Actually, we should surrender to Brahman, speaking through Krishna. Personal character of Krishna is immoral. He danced with the wives of other men. He had many wives. He is normal human like all of us. Don't take Krishna seriously.
That's how they say or they talk outside. Okay. Okay. Now so Krishna glorifies. So Krishna says soul is a part and parcel of God, but soul can never become God. That's what is being taught in Bhagavadgita in the first initial chapters, and the same is stressed by Krishna once again. And one should beware of such people, what I have shown, and try to follow parampara. That's what our senior acharyas say. So it's a supermost dharma, and this path is performed joyfully, as I said. And Srila Prabhupada used to say, by simply chanting, eating prasadam, and dancing, you can go to Goloka. But you need a simple heart. Eating means our ISKCON gulab jamun is called as ISKCON bullets. I don't know. Have you heard of it earlier? ISKCON bullets. ISKCON bullets. So a lot of people in ISKCON they have come mainly through prasadam only. First they eat prasadam, then they will come to ISKCON. Okay, so Srila Prabhupada says the same thing, that by simply eating, singing and dancing, you can go to Goloka, and this process has so many sweet activities, so many sweet. But I really, in the very first year of my Krishna conscious life, 3 months or 4 months, I heard the SSR sessions, and after that immediately I went to SSR. I immediately went to Stockholm, and in the Stockholm every Friday, non-stop, can you believe it, 7 hours I used to dance along with devotees in the city center of Stockholm. 7 hours every Saturday. It used to give me energy for the entire week. So so that's what Srila Prabhupada says. That by simply singing and dancing, you can go to Goloka. And the one simple thing what you need to have is simplicity, like a child, and a firm faith. That's what Srila Prabhupada used to say. Simplicity as a child and firm faith, if you have it, it's very easy. Is it not simple? When a lot of people complicate themselves, I have personally seen, especially the bureaucrats who are, worked as a collector, worked as in a big role in police department. I mean, they are tuned. I don't know whether to blame them or not. They have been into situations where any forums or any platforms they go, they were appreciated. They generally are appreciated by common people, and they like that hava. And suddenly, if we ask them for some pravachan or something, they will not come, because their importance is not there, right? Their importance is not there. I have seen personally. Sir, please come now today. We are having kirtan or something is there, because there we will not give glorification of them, no. So generally it happens. That's what I personally have seen it. So and Krishna also glorifies the knowledge he is about to reveal, because he talks about Narada. Why he talks about Narada? Because a simple why? Why he talks about Narada? He take because it is said that bhakti is very simple. If you are having a simple heart and a firm faith, that's enough for bhakti. And for that he gives an example of Krishna, Narada. Why Narada? Any guesses? Any guesses why Narada? Why he takes an example of Narada? Please.
He has no residence.
He has a
No residence.
no residence. Okay. No. Why he has quoted? No, that is not the answer, bro. Why he quotes the example of Narada? Any guesses?
In his past life,
Huh.
he was some poor child.
Right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Now, why he quotes the example of Narada is, you are right, Prabhu, that in his past life he was a Dasi Putra. He was a Dasi Putra. But one more thing to add is, before he was Dasi Putra, in his before life he was a Gandharva. He was a Gandharva. He was a Gandharva, the Prachin Baraha, with a good handsome body, with that. what Chandan applied. It's something like deodorant and scent we apply, right? There they used to apply Chandan pulp and all. His body was always fresh and very wonderful smell was coming, and he was Apsaras used to get attracted to him. His name was Prachin Baraha at that time, and in the assembly of some Indra's kingdom, he everyone was chanting, talking about Hari, Krishna and all, but he was singing something else. He was singing something else, so some sages curse him that you become a poor child in next life. Then he becomes a Dasi Putra and he has a very bad life, to say. He was not having a father to take care. Only mother was there. Mother was taking care of him, and father was not there, and he was not in a good condition. And luckily, in his area, some senior devotees come, rishis and sages come. And sages come and they serve rishis, they serve the sages, and by serving them, the sages impart the knowledge of bhakti to both mother and kid, and they try to understand the steps what are required for following bhakti process and all. They try to understand, and they follow the bhakti process, and after some time, mother leaves the body and only he is left, and he leaves to different places, and by the various practices of Krishna conscious activities, he was able to see Krishna in his heart as a Paramatma, and he comes near to Krishna like that. So Narada himself says, I was born as an insignificant son of maid servant. So once during Chaturmas, like the 4 months of the rainy season, some exalted Vaishnavas came to Brahmana's school. Okay, so I think most of you know that he was a Dasi Putra, but before Dasi Putra, why he became Dasi Putra? He got a curse that we need to understand. So like this, because she was attending to their needs, I also got the opportunity to render personal service unto them. They blessed me with their causeless mercy. So Prabhuji and Mataji, whenever senior devotees come, we should try to take association of the devotees. Please. Okay. And similarly, once with their permission, I took the remnants of their food and all of my sins were eradicated. छी यंगिली का ना झूठा खाना अच्छा नहीं है ना? Yes or no? झूठा खाना अच्छा नहीं है ना? Here Prabhuji, Mataji. Not good, right? झूठा खाना. Whenever there is an opportunity of taking remnants of senior devotees, please take, Prabhu. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to get, but take it. Okay. So that's what Narada says. So in their association, I heard Krishna's attractive pastimes my taste for such topics increased at every step. And I realized myself to be different from the gross and subtle bodies. I loved those pure devotees greatly, and with very gentle behavior, I strictly followed their instruction. When they were about to depart, they instructed me in Bhakti Yoga, the art of using everything in the service of the Lord to ultimately return back home, back to Godhead. So that's how he started his journey after his mother passed away. Even though my mother had passed away and I became alone, I immediately left home and started for the north. And since I had become very thirsty and fatigued, he used to drink water and eat the fruits, or wherever the prasadam is there in the temples, he used to eat and survive himself. Okay, and then I sat down in the shade of a great banyan tree and began meditating upon Supreme Soul within, as I had learned from my spiritual masters. As soon as I concentrated my mind upon the lotus feet of the Lord, it became transformed into transcendental love. As tears fell from my eyes, Lord Krishna appeared on the lotus of my heart. All my senses became spiritually enlivened, and very soon Lord vanished from my sight. Can you believe that a Lord who is situated in our heart, thinking, meditating upon Him, we get tears? Have you seen anyone like that?
Tears, first time.
Huh?
I don't know read.
First time. నిజంగా జెన్యూన్ ప్రేమ ఉంటే ఖచ్చితంగా వస్తుంది ప్రభు. ఇది లీవ్ అబౌట్ ఓన్లీ లార్డ్ ప్రభు. మనం ఈవెన్ లీవ్ అబౌట్ లార్డ్, ఈవెన్ మన ప్రేమికులు ఉంటారు కదా, the love birds who are there, when so much separation is there between the love birds, you know, I have seen my friends who cried that we are not able to meet and all. He cried and we were solacing him in our engineering days. How silly we were just thinking. But you know, that's when we have a genuine love towards someone, some materialistic person or some person who's there in this material world, we are having that much tears. When we have that kind of love towards the Supreme Lord, how much love or how much tears it will, someday get tears to non-stop tears actually. Okay, so Lord, while remaining invisible, spoke to me. Oh boy, you will not be able to see me again during this lifetime, because one who is not complete in services and freed from all material contamination can hardly approach me. Again, he gives a trailer. To Narada that you have seen me, well and good, that's it. Now you perform your devotional service and try to attain me, you will be back. So that's what Krishna talks about Narada. And Narada again, you know, as a special favor, I have just he tells the same thing. Krishna, as a special favor, I have shown myself to you just to increase your desire to come to me. By my mercy, you will always remember me and will continue making advancement in KC even at the time of creation or annihilation. This is called mercy. What is the definition of mercy? What is the definition of mercy? Lot of people, lot of devotees, you know, they think about Lord. They 24 hours they will be Krishna consciousness. They get tears, but how many will get the darshan of the Lord? Right? So what is mercy? Tell me. What is called, define mercy? Tell me. Can you please define mercy? Please. Guess it. No problem. Guess. I already told this earlier also. What is the definition of mercy? Definition of mercy is something, even you are ineligible, you are not eligible at all for something and still you get it. That is mercy. You are not eligible for something, నీకు అసలు అర్హత లేదు. ట్రాఫిక్ జంక్షన్లో పోలీస్ మమ్మల్ని పట్టుకున్నాడు. కార్డు, డ్రైవింగ్ లైసెన్స్ లేదు, ఏమీ లేదు, ఇది లేదు, పట్టుకొని ఒట్టి నీ ఫేస్, జాలి ఫేస్ చూసి వదిలేసాడు. డబ్బులు కూడా తీసుకోలేదు. అది mercy. అర్హత లేదు నీకు. Actually you are eligible for punishment. You are completely eligible for punishment, but still you are getting reward. So that is called mercy. So that's what the mercy he is talking about. Okay. Now again further, he thus fully absorbed in thinking of Lord Krishna. In due course of time, I was freed from all material attachment. I met with death. Instantaneously, I received a transcendental form as Narada. Since then, by grace of Lord Vishnu, I have been traveling everywhere, both in spiritual and material worlds, singing on Veena glories of the Lord. So that's the benediction. Even the Veena was given by Krishna himself to Narada. So that is called mercy. So the range of Narada Muni outreach. So he also preached Krishna consciousness. Yes or no? He also preached Krishna consciousness. And he's a, what do we say? Going from planet to planet. What is the term used? There is one term. Parivrajaka-charya. Next one is Parivrajaka-charya is the devotee who preaches in a single world. And the person who goes from planets to planets, one word is there. What is that, Prabhuji? Is applicable to Narada. Parivrajaka-charya, Bahudaka, Kutichaka, Parivrajaka-charya, and I am not able to recollect that word, I will tell you. But the thing is, that Narada, thus purified, attains the heavenly, not heavenly abode, he gets liberation. And Krishna himself gives Veena, and the kind of people Narada preached. Can you guess how many people what kind of people he preached? Right? Anyone else? What? Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad, and Nalikura Griva. Yeah, 2 trees. For them also he preached. Like that, a lot of devotees. Dhruva Maharaj is there. Vedavyas, Prachina Varsha, Chitraketu. See, everyone he has preached. So this is the kind of outreach. So it is something. It is same thing. Like lot of devotees are there in Krishna ISKCON or Krishna consciousness, any parampara who are preaching across. Like that, Narada was also preaching. Narada also preaching across the planets. Not only we are limited to preaching only in our material world, that is in earth, in Hyderabad. There are some senior devotees who preach out of cities, right? Srila Prabhupada is preached lot of countries, right? So Narada preached planets. So we need to understand that, and you should be proud. And actually, we are trying to become devotees. We are trying to be devotees, and from ISKCON, we should be proud that we are coming in the same parampara as Narada. ISKCON is Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Narada is Brahma's son, and Narada is also in the Brahma Sampradaya. So we are from the same Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. We are in the same Sampradaya as Brahma. So Narada also is from our own Sampradaya. We should be proud of it. Okay? So we should be proud on that way. And by practicing bhakti, why Narada example was quoted was like a Dasi Putra was able to attain ultimate perfection. What about us? The only thing is simple heart is required, firm faith is required. But the knowledge what our daily material world is providing, that simple heart is not given. We are making our things complicated. Neighbor, hey, your Babu is not going to swimming. Your Babu is not going to guitar. Unnecessary pressure on us. He is learning a lot. Our kid is going behind. Okay, so okay, so like this, there is Bhakti was performed by Narada and went ahead, and there are a lot of processes. How many processes are there? Navavidhi Bhakti we say. I think you all know. What are those Navavidhi Bhakti? How many types of, how in what ways Bhakti can be approached? Bhakti can be enlivened in ourselves. There are Navavidha Bhakti. Nine ways are there. What are those? You can tell. I know. You know. Huh? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Padasevanam, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Padasevanam, Atmanivedanam, and Shravanam, Kirtanam, Atmanivedanam, Padasevanam, Dasyam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, still are there. Come on. Sakhyam. Yeah. Dasyam, Sakhyam. Yeah. Total 9 are there. I'm not able to recollect, but I will put. Prabhuji. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Padasevanam, Atmanivedanam, Sakhyam, Dasyam. Sakhyam, Dasyam. Yeah. Not able to remember. I think 6 only you could remember. Three more are there. Huh? So that's what you know. Got it? What are those? Smaranam, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Smaranam we forgot. Vandanam, Smaranam we forgot. Archanam, yeah. So these are the 9 ways of bhakti what is being mentioned. So what is devotional service? You know, we can understand that from devotees like Srila Prabhupada who changed millions of lives. Do you agree? Srila Prabhupada has changed millions of lives. He made hippies to happies, right? So one of the thing, yeah, these are the outreach what we talked about. Now we talk about
4,300,000 years and multiply it by 1,000. And what it comes according to English calculation? 4,300,000,000. That is 12 hours. And add again 12 hours night. Then 8 billion. 600 million. So Krishna comes after this period. In one day, after one day, a Brahma.
Yeah. So see, have you noticed, like, his English is also, Srila Prabhupada, his English is also not that, as per our literal standard, it's not that great, but still he could attract the people who are living in English, pure, very posh English. Is it not a surprising thing? So, the English is not the matter, the devotion is the matter. Devotion within him is the matter. He served them like anything. Okay. So that's what we say, Bhajanera Shrestha Hoye. Bhajanera Shrestha Hoye Navavidha Bhakti, Krishna Prema, Krishna Adite, Krishna Ada Mahashakti. So, one who takes to devotion service, he would be getting the Krishna Prema and also Krishna himself. Okay, that's what stresses. Shravanam.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.
Okay, so Shravanam Kirtana. So Mataji mentioned, Mataji mentioned chanting. Chanting means Kirtana, Mataji. So chanting is the only thing, with a single activity you will get 2 benefits, 2 times. Shravanam and Kirtanam. So you are Shravanam, you are chanting. Kirtanam, you are hearing. Whatever you are chanting, you are hearing. So Shravanam and Kirtanam both are happening with a single activity. So yeah.
Will it also not as Smaranam? Will also think.
Yes, Babuji. You can do, but how many? You can do that also. 3 things you can do simultaneously. But the point is, when you do smaranam, no, there is a possibility you might not listen to the syllable, but it is mentioned that we should listen to the each syllable. So when you try to do smaranam of Krishna while chanting, there is a possibility you might not hear to the syllable. So it's better to utter and syllable, better not to do the third activity at the same time. So Arjuna asks, if the path of Bhakti Yoga is so sweet and simple, next one is Smarana.
Ocean, another Vishnu expansion, reclined on a serpent bed while being massaged by his consort Lakshmi. Ocean, another Vishnu
by chanting Yesha Deepaha, followed by the deity's Mula Mantra, offer 4 circles to the lotus feet, 2 circles to the navel, and 3 circles to the lotus face of the deity. Then offer the Deepa gracefully in 7 circles.
Okay, this is Archana. Vandana.
He's always meek and mild, with a warm and friendly smile, so simple in his living, singing all the while. He sings out Krishna's name. Hare Bhairava Kal ki jaiya ho, jab jaga ke hayya ho.
Okay, so Krishna glorifies this knowledge, and then Arjuna asks Krishna, if Bhakti Yoga is so sweet and so easy, then why all the people are not taking to this Bhakti Yoga? Why they are not taking? So why they are not taking? He asks, and then Krishna talks. There are people who are known as Ashraddha Dana. Here it talks about the faithless cannot attain Krishna. Ashraddha Dana Purusha Dharmasya Parantapa Aprapya Mam Nivartante Mrityu Samsara Vartamani. So this term Ashraddha Dana is very important. These are the people who don't have sufficient faith, and again they will be coming back to the same material world again and again. You might have seen Prabhuji's and Mataji's. Sufficient faith is not there. Even the people who come to sessions or somewhere, okay, అందరూ దేవుడు గొప్పడు అంటున్నారు కాబట్టి ఏదో ఉందిలే పద్దాం. ఏందో గొప్పతనం? Faith is not there. People will be asking, is this knowledge really genuine? 5,000 years back, is it still applicable? Show me the original Veda links where the Munis have written. All these doubts will be coming into the picture. So Krishna explains, and Krishna explains very clearly in his Srila Prabhupada explains, though Krishna says that they don't have a firm faith. They don't have a firm faith, the sufficient faith is not there, and they will come to this world, material world again and again. But in the same thing, Srila Prabhupada mentions, there are 3 kinds of devotees: 3rd class devotee, 2nd class devotee, and 1st class devotee. And that we can see in generally any satsangs. So generally it doesn't mean that whoever comes to satsang, they are pure devotees. No. Okay. So the 3rd class devotees are the devotees who come to satsang for some material things. Something like job is not there. I have personally seen in this, what are the 5 years of my stay in ISKCON. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's wrong. But they come. Prabhuji, I started a startup. I started a startup. So I need a couple of profiles. If you can give it to me, it would be very nice. So whenever I meet the devotee in the satsang, he talks about that only. Prabhuji, can you please tell about your profile? How is it? Can you join me? That topic only, not about Bhakti or Krishna. The job is not there. I don't have job. Once he gets job, again he will not appear. Once he gets job, he will not appear. Prabhuji, you used to come for 3 to 4 weeks on that satsang. Why are you not coming now? Please Prabhu, आओ ना. प्रभु जी ऑफिस में बहुत ज़्यादा वर्क है प्रभु जी, अभी कराटे क्लासेस ज्वाइन किया, अभी स्विमिंग क्लासेस ज्वाइन किया करके बोलते हैं. हाँ, Krishna fulfilled. After fulfilling, they will forget. Then after Krishna fulfills, he will not give credit to Krishna. मेरा स्वयं कृषि में मैं तब मार के आया, इधर आके करते. So that is the third class devotees where they after some time they will stop coming and they have little faith and they like prasadam, they like music. Bah, ये बजाएंगे भजन important है भाई, super important. So they enjoy at a external platform, and as I said, after some time they will be invisible, and they don't have firm faith. And second class devotees are the set of devotees who have firm faith on devotees and Krishna. They have firm faith on devotees and Krishna. Even there are some security watchmen who perform the this thing. But the second class devotees are the devotees who would not be able to counteract if someone questions. It looks like that philosophy is right, this philosophy is right, but someone questions, they can't counter argue. So those are the second class devotees who have firm faith and on devotees and scriptures, and regularly come to the temples and render services also. He is busy involved in all the services also, but they don't have sufficient knowledge. Why they don't have sufficient knowledge? Because they have utmost faith in them. ఇప్పుడు కొంతమందికి ఫెయిత్ ఉన్న వాళ్ళకి కృష్ణుడు అల్టిమేట్ అని ప్రూవ్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. ఆయనకి he knows 100% that Krishna is the supreme God and I need to perform devotional service and get out of this material world. He knows it. Then why నేను ఈ తప్పు చేస్తే నాకేమవుతుంది, నేను ఈ తప్పు చేస్తే నేను ఎగ్జామ్లో ఏం కొడతా, నాకు నేను కరెక్ట్గా స్వర్గంలోకంలో ఉన్న ఈ పర్టికులర్ దీనికి వెళ్ళాలంటే నేను ఏం చేయాలి, ఇవన్నీ ఏంటంటే if your goal is clear, there is no need of all these things. So there might be sufficient knowledge is not there to counteract, but they are firmly situated that yes, I need to do this and I need to go back. And the first class devotees are the ones who are having knowledge, complete knowledge about bhakti yoga process. And they are, it's like rocket pull example. Rocket, right? Rocket, when it launches, the maximum fuel is required for the rocket to leave till the orbit. After it reaches some orbit, there is no need of fuel. It will be only floating. But till it goes to that orbit, that pull is required. Lot of fuel is wasted in the first initial few minutes or couple of hours till it reaches the orbit. Similarly, this first class devotees have already reached the orbit. So Maya's pull is very less. But second class devotees, first class devotees, Maya pull, నేను వెళ్తా అంటే పట్టుకుంటుంది అంతే. Maya would be always there. It will be finding, giving reasons. Today karate classes jana hai, today dance classes jana hai. That's the reason why I am not coming. Always Maya will be there to give enough excuses. Okay, so that's what is talked about in the first class devotee. And Nani people, they are always suspicious. As I said, Nani people who are very 5,000 years back. Is it really this Shastras we need to believe? Leaves are there. Can you show me that leaves were originally written? All the silly doubts they will ask. So we need to understand Bhagavadgita is such a popular scripture where even after, tell me one book or one book which is popular 5,000 years old, still it is popular and a lot of commentaries are happening on it. There is no other book, right? Even till today, a lot of people discuss about Bhagavadgita. Most popularist. Okay. So all over the world, a lot of scientists and scholars have discussed about Bhagavad Gita, and we know that each and every word is very much potent. We need to understand, because if you give Bhagavad Gita, people might not understand. They need to take guidance for sure, but they need to make an effort to understand. So we need to say that read and hear and develop faith in Bhagavad Gita. And it is something like there might be a lot of people who talk about impersonal Brahman and all, but we need to understand what is with the almost 9 sessions we understand that Krishna is not impersonal. He is a very personal deity or personal God. We need to understand that. Okay. Now, it is similar to government. Government is impersonal. Government is personal or impersonal? Whatever the government is there, government is personal or impersonal? Impersonal, right? Now, this impersonal is the energy of the government, like PM Narendra Modi is there. His government is impersonal, but he is a person, right? Who is running it, who is running the government, right? So similarly, similar to MLAs and MPs, they have a close access to PM. MLAs and MPs, they have close access to PM. So MLAs and MPs are the devotees or they have close access to the PM. But what about PM's mother and brother? They will be having more close access, right? Yes or no? For example, PM is there. PM's mother or brother will be having a close access to PM, or MLAs or MPs will be having close access to PM. Mother and brother, right? అర్థమైందా? అర్థం కాలేదా? చీఫ్ మినిస్టర్ ఉన్నాడు. చీఫ్ మినిస్టర్కి ఈజీ యాక్సెస్ ఉండేది ఎమ్మెల్యేలకి ఈజీ యాక్సెస్ ఉంటుందా, లేకపోతే వాళ్ళ కొడుకు, వాళ్ళ అమ్మ, వాళ్ళ బావ, వాళ్ళ తమ్ముడు వాళ్ళకి ఈజీ యాక్సెస్ ఉంటుందా? సీఎంకి టూ రోల్స్. పర్సనల్ రోల్.
There are the parents are and the relationship not connected.
Yes. So say similarly, the personal whatever we are talking about, mother, brother, ఎవరైతే సీఎంకి దగ్గరలో వారు ఉన్నారో వాళ్ళు నథింగ్ బట్ డివోటీస్ అన్నమాట. డివోటీస్ ఆర్ మోర్ పర్సనల్. సో విష్ణు ఈజ్ అట్ వర్క్, కృష్ణ ఈజ్ అట్ హోమ్, అలాగనమాట. సో డివోటీస్ ఆల్వేస్ ట్రై టు అప్రోచ్ హిమ్ in his most personal form. Okay, so that we need to understand. So if a Lord is as we say మన ఫాదర్ ఉన్నాడు, ఇంట్లో బాగా క్లోజ్గా ఉంటాడు, బనియన్ వేసుకుంటాడు, అండ్ ఈవెన్ ఆన్ బనియన్ హీ టేక్స్ హిస్ కిడ్ అండ్ డాన్స్ ఆర్ whatever the games he can play when he is in home. So that's why Krishna loves his devotees very much when because they are approaching him in his most personal form, not official form, Vishnu, Narayana. No, they try to approach him in most personal form. That we need to understand. So Krishna reveals about that knowledge only. Ashraddha Dana, what he talks about is he talks about all these three classes of devotees. I mean, though they are devotee, they are trying to be in the path, but they are not situated in a kevala bhakti, pure bhakti form. So therefore, this chapter is more important because for to get an entrance to Goloka or the ultimate spiritual world, we need to know about that person, right? We need to have the relation, right? ఇప్పుడు తెలియని వ్యక్తిని ఎవరైనా మీరు ఇంటికి రాణిస్తారా? రిలేషన్ ఉంటేనే కదా రాణించేది కదా. సో వీ నీడ్ టు హ్యావ్ సమ్ రిలేషన్ విత్ ద పర్సన్ ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు అలౌ దట్ పర్సన్ ఇన్ టు యువర్ హోమ్. So that relation is more important. So now that Krishna talks about that relation only, so to enter into home, some relationship should be there. So that's what he talks about, inconceivable relationship. Because without having a relationship, you will not be knowing about that person. Right? Without having a relationship, you will not externally you might say a lot of things about a person, but if you know about that person, you will be speaking about him with more clarity, right? So that's what he's talking about. So inconceivable relationships. So Krishna created this material world, but he has made an in charge whom he has made an in charge for material world? No. Shiva and Parvati. Shiva and Parvati are the father and mother of this material world. Okay, so that's what. So Krishna is directly not involved with any activities of this material world. We need to understand. So see, it is similar to Prime Minister arranges a jail, but he is not directly involved with the jail. There is a jailer to take care of the jail, but without his creation, without his sanction, jailer would not be able to work. So he simply it is something. ఇంటికి మన గెస్ట్లు వస్తే కినా మన మాతాజీ ఎవరు ఉన్నారనుకోండి, దే సింప్లీ I used to see my dad. My dad used to work as a lawyer. So guests used to come. So sometimes criminals used to come. Sometimes proper guests used to come. So if criminals are coming, we didn't used to offer any tea or chai. So my mom used to wait whether I have to prepare a tea or not. So my dad in a lawyer court and all, he used to simply glance at my mom. Like that he used to say. So she used to bring tea, tea or coffee, whatever it is. So, so there is something like this. So Krishna glances Maya Devi or Durga Devi, and depending on his instructions, Maya Devi will work, Durga Devi works. So that's what he says. And we need to understand that this material world is like a bowl. Bowl, right? Like material world is like a Brahmanda, anda. It is like a bowl on the top. So whatever the wind is there, it will be flowing within this Brahmanda only. So Krishna has created this Brahmanda to enjoy. So to whatever enjoyment you wanted to make, you enjoy here. That's what Krishna has created this Brahmanda, and outside this bowl or Brahmanda, jivas are left to enjoy as per their wish or as per their will. Because for enjoyment only we came here, right? You understand that, right? We came here to enjoy. Are there any doubts? No, right? We have left Krishna and enjoy. Sometimes, too much knowing is also not good. For example, my kid, I still remember when 2013, when we came first to Greenways apartment. Bhavika and Dhruv both were very young. He was in UKG, and my elder one was in second class. So after first time seeing the flat, Daddy, what a wonderful flat, Daddy. I really loved this flat. Very nice, very adjacent to school. I love it, Daddy. I really love this flat, Daddy. Like this, her expressions still I can't forget. But after 10 years of staying, Daddy, we will take flat in my home, Krishi, there are a lot of badminton court is there. Here there is no badminton court. Like that she tells now. So, when we should understand that we ourselves have come to material world with our desires. Okay, so the in charge has been put to see these activities. So Durga Mata takes care of our activities, and so although material world emerges from Mahavishnu, it rests in him, still he is aloof from it. That's what we need to understand. Though this material world is emerging from his pores of the body, but still he is aloof from it. Because he has delegated the things to Shiva and Parvati. But it doesn't mean that he is not out of control. He is aloof of it, but it doesn't mean that he is not. But when you are situated in bhakti, you are directly connected with Krishna. Pure bhakti, pure devotional service. And this material world doesn't do anything to you. My faith got more firm after seeing Varsana Mataji. Seriously. She is not in the material plane. After seeing her, I felt like her leg, one leg is already there in spiritual world. Another leg is in material world. We are just waiting. Okay. So how now Arjuna asks, how are you aloof from it? Just like aloof from it. Just I have given an example of husband looking the wife and ordering. So he simply gives gestures to work. Okay. So after telling all these things also, that's what he mentions. Krishna is everything. Though everything is situated in Krishna, they are not situated in him. Since he is completely aloof and independent of everything, yet Krishna is not everything. So it is something like Krishna is everything, yet Krishna is not everything. What does that statement say? Is it not confusing? Krishna is everything, but yet Krishna is not everything. Why I am saying Krishna is everything and Krishna is not everything is, Krishna is everything because he has created each and every component is coming from his energies only. But he is not directly involved with the affairs of the material world. He has delegated Durga Devi and Shiva to take care of it. So that's why it is said he is everything and not everything. Okay, Krishna's greatness.
emanates all the three worlds, both spiritual and mundane. Everything rests in me, Arjun, just as you see pearls hang upon a thread.
Okay. So, he says the same thing. With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. Ekastena sthito jagat. Still, Krishna resides in Goloka, his own abode, for far beyond all the material world, and enjoys pastimes with his devotees. Creation and destruction of material world by Krishna's energy. So, the following verse describes the creation and destruction of this world by his energies, periodic creation and destruction, Krishna's will. So, see, although Krishna creates, maintains, and destroys his material world through his energies, all this work doesn't bind him. And he is not attached. We need to understand that whatever he is doing, for example, if you are creating something, in the Kashtapadi, in the Lakshal Gatti, in the flat konnanu, Parapatna flat came, I get too much attached. I get too attached. What happened to my flat? But Krishna has created it and is destroying it. He is not attached. He is not attached. So he is not directly responsible for any good or evil that happens in this world. That's what the point he mentions, and the same point is reiterated again, that all this work cannot bind him. So Krishna is the supreme director. Though Krishna is the source of the three Purushas who create and maintain the material world, still when Krishna descends as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki into this world, some people misunderstand him to be an ordinary human being or just an Amsha of the Purusha Avatara. So, after that, Arjuna asked, after you are saying all these things, but still why Krishna, a lot of people still misunderstand you? That's what Arjuna asked. Still, why they misunderstand you? So, there is, have you heard of one king by name Poundrak? Vinnara? Poundrak. So, in Krishna's time, Dwaraka, there used to be one king by name Poundrak. He used to imitate Krishna. Krishna lagane, he used to have the peacock feather. He used to keep some 4 artificial limbs, artificial hands, and he used to challenge Krishna. Hey, come to battle. I am Krishna, you are not Krishna, I am Krishna. We will fight and all challenges about it. Cheste, ఏమైంది అధోగతి అయింది ఆ క్యాండిడేట్కి. So fools are impersonalists or Mayavadis consider Krishna as an ordinary human. Still, it's not only about Poundrak at that time, 5000 years back, who challenged Krishna. But if you see now also, so many people feel that Krishna is a human being like us only. Like actually, Naku luckyga, it's not only about after coming to ISKCON, I'm believing it. Even childhood also, I never felt that Krishna is an ordinary human being. He is Bhagavan, some kind of demigod only, I used to think. But it is more silly when people say that he is a Krishna Allah Manshe. So it's nothing surprising that Krishna has given this message, because he knows that this kind of people are there. Okay, so fools are impersonalists. That's what he was saying. Such fools are there, and Krishna having a middle body, and whereas a spiritual body, others will be having a middle body, but Krishna has a spiritual body. He has a spiritual body, but he came to material world. We need to understand. And after he finished his pastimes in material world, he left to his own abode. It is something like some Prabhuji is working in an office. He leaves from office to home at around 6 o'clock. It doesn't mean that he died, right? The office employees can't say that he died. It is something that he came here, he worked, he performed his pastimes, and he left to his abode. That's what the thing what we need to say. Lot of in the Facebook, lot of messages I still see that Krishna died at the age of 125 years. That's a very wrong term. That's very, very wrong term. Krishna died at the age of 120 years. No, he was there in this world for 125 years. After 125 years, he left to his abode. That's the correct statement.
And even we also, we born. That means that we are born at a time. This is a journey.
Your body is dying. Your body is dying. Not you. Actually, see, these are birthdays and all. It's a concept here in the material world. When they're lucky that there are some devotees. I don't know how many of you know Radhesham Prabhuji. You know, right? Radhesham Prabhuji, once my Shiksha Guru Leelam Prabhu asked him, wish you happy birthday, Radhesham Prabhuji. He asked him. Can you guess what is the response of him? Prabhuji, there is no birthday for soul. Like that, they were planning a big cake cutting and all for him. They were planning a big cake cutting and all for him, but he said that, no, I don't have a birthday, I am a soul. Can we have that consciousness? We can't. Can we have? When we were surprised. I don't celebrate birthday. I am a soul. I don't have a birth. Senior devotees are in that consciousness, Prabhuji and Mataji. It might be very funny for us. Materialistic people, when they see, Yeto Manisha, Yendi, Yagatal Jasar, okay? So we need to understand it. So, other hand, Krishna speaks about Mahatma devotees also. So, fools or impersonalists consider Krishna as an ordinary human being. So, fate of such fools, they will come again and again, they will be revolving around in the same world. Mahatmas or Ananya Bhaktas worship constantly with devotion. I think I don't need to say much about it. Mahatma devotees are the one. Maha plus Atma. Mahatma. Mahatma is the word, is not a cheap word to be used for politicians and celebrities. Mahatma लांटी माँ राजकीय नेता. महात्मा जैसे हमारे राजकीय नायक. महात्मा लांटी माँ सिनेमा हीरो आया ना कि वो सिनेमा हीरो जब सुनामी आया था 2 लाख प्लेट्स प्रसादम 2 लाख प्लेट्स का फूड डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किया. महात्मा जैसे हीरो है. No, Prabhuji and Mataji. Mahatma word is a very valuable term. It can't be given to politicians or cinema actors, despite they are doing a lot of charity. Okay, so Mahatma, devotee, Mahatma is a monopoly or a trademark word for devotees only. Mahatma is the word not for politicians or philanthropists who do a lot of things. Mahatma is the word for devotees, pure devotees who see all the living entities with the same sight or without any discrimination. Mahatma. Maha plus Atma is Mahatma who loves all the living entities as the children of Lord, children of God. And believe me, they will be in that consciousness. Prabhu. I think a lot of people might not be experiencing that, but try to take the darshan or take the association of senior devotees when they come. You ask questions, try to meet them in person, ask questions. They will reveal things. Okay, so so that's what we are talking about. Mahatmas or Ananya Bhaktas worship constantly with devotion, and Mahatmas is the only word to be given to the devotees, and they will be always in Sankirtan of Lord only, and go down to the Lord, and they always engaged in the pure devotion service. Always pure devotion service అంటే ఓన్లీ దండం పెట్టడమే కాదు, వాళ్ళు చేసే ప్రతి పని ఏదో వాళ్ళు చాంటింగ్ చేస్తూ ఉంటారు, కీర్తన చేస్తూ ఉంటారు, ప్రీచింగ్ చేస్తూ ఉంటారు, ప్రసాదం తింటూ ఉంటారు, స్క్రిప్చర్స్ చదువుతూ ఉంటారు, అంతే 24/7 they would be, and they sleep. And Srila Prabhupada says, you read Krishna book and sleep, you will be getting Krishna dreams also. Have any of you got Srila Prabhupada in dreams or Krishna in dreams? Yes or no? No? Please, you will get Krishna in dreams if you are really reading scriptures seriously. And he's a wonderful director, position Mataji. He will guide you. Okay, so like this, there are the in this chapter also, it is explained about Mahatma devotee in the later part of it also. Like there is another category where there are completely Mayavadi people would be there, and they surrender to all other things but not to Krishna. Again, there are three types of categories here. In between these two extremes, in between the two extremes mentioned in 9.11, 12, 13.14, there are other people who worship in different ways that Krishna will mention in next verses. They also worship. There are some kind of people who also worship, but they worship in different ways. That's what Krishna talks about. There are 3 categories of people who worship. One is Ekatvena. Here it is given. 3 kinds of Jnanis worship Krishna by cultivating knowledge, Jnana Yajna. And he gives here. So Ekatvena is a category, they worship me in oneness, thinking themselves to be God. It is like Brahman worship. They also worship, but they will be worshipping in Brahman. I will merge with Brahman and I will become God. They also worship Krishna only, but in the Brahman form. So that's what he is talking about, and he elaborates in the 12th chapter. And similarly, Prataktvena, they worship me in diversity in many forms of demigods. So Prataktvena is a category where they also worship Krishna. Krishna is also one among the demigods. Lord Shiva, Brahma, Krishna, Saraswati Devi, Lakshmi Devi, all are equal for them. They also worship, but they worship in a consciousness of demigod. All are అందరు దేవుళ్ళు ఒకటే అనే కాన్షియస్నెస్తో వర్షిప్ చేస్తారు వాళ్ళు. Prataktvena. No? So so this demigod, now coming to Vishvato Mukham. Vishvato Mukham, they worship me in the universal form that I am everything. So they worship in the Virata Rupa. Virata Rupa is the material form of Krishna. And among the 3 categories, this is better category than the rest of the 2. Because eventually, after having this Vishvato or Virata Rupa or Vishvato Mukham, worshipping them, they will be eventually reaching to the level of worshipping the Lord Vishnu or Krishna eventually. So that's why Krishna prefers among the 3, this is better. That's what Krishna tells. Okay, so he elaborately, this Mayavada and all, he clearly mentioned these are the different types of worshippers also who do it for the question what Arjuna asks. Okay, so they perform sacrifices, chanting Vishnu Sahasranama or Vishnu like that. Hare Krishna. Okay, so some in the same category what I said, Prataktvena, they treat all the demigods equally and they treat Krishna also as one of the demigods. And they preach, they pray, they worship Indra for heavenly opulence, wonderful body, enjoying with Apsaras. Indra is the ultimate, they will pray. Ido cinema dialogue ido undi. Idadi అక్కడ ఆ ఇంద్ర మూవీ మన డైలాగ్ ఇది అక్కడ ఆ ఇంద్రుడు దేవాది దేవుడైతే ఇక్కడ ఈ ఇంద్రుడు దేవాది దేవుడు అని సంథింగ్ యూల్ బి సేయింగ్. సో దే ట్రీట్ ఇంద్ర యాజ్ అల్టిమేట్ గాడ్ బికాస్ if we worship the Indra, we will be getting material opulence, wonderful body, wonderful beauty, wonderful apsaras around us and all. So like that they try to do it. Okay, so which is not right. So intelligent people think, because even in that category, even if they go to heavenly planets at one time or not, they have to come down again, for sure. They have to come down again. So intelligent people think, what they think, do I really need to go up to come down again? Am I really required to go to heavenly planets to again come down? I have to think about a plan where I am not returning again. That's what intelligent people think. Is it a good thinking or not? అర్థమవుతుందా చెప్పేది? Or is it too complicated? Thing is, whatever Indra, Chandra or Brahma worship is there, Shiva worship is there, you go, you stay with them and again you have to come back again after your credit is over, karma credit is over. So intelligent people will be thinking that I should not come back again, I should go out of this material world completely. Okay, so it is the same thing. It's something like what are the demigod worship. It's something like some people, I don't know, in the north this thing is not there, I believe. Bhaskar Prabhu and Anuj Prabhu or Himanshu Prabhu, you have to tell me, सिनेमा हीरोज को लेके झगड़ा होता नहीं है ना. इधर हमारे आंध्र प्रदेश में, तेलंगाना में चिरंजीवी फैंस, बालैया फैंस, they fight in the streets, they get blood and then they get arrested. Okay, so similar to that, it's not landing anywhere. Demigod worship is something like that. You have to be coming back again. Okay. So it doesn't mean that we are disrespecting demigods. We have to respect them. They are also devotees of the Lord. That's the reason why they are in that position. We are not disrespecting them. It doesn't mean that we should disrespect them. Then someone might ask, A lot of people are there. Krishna himself says, I take personal care of the devotees in personal care. So like that, Arjuna Acharya karke one sage was there, and he was preaching the knowledge of Bhagavadgita in his village, and he was wonderfully glorifying the Lord's names, and he was preaching in the village and God, but he was very poor, very very poor. There are no proper groceries in his house. Then he sees the Bhagavad Gita chapter, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam. One shloka is there, right? Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam. He will be personally taking care of devotees and all. He scratches that line in Bhagavad Gita. With pencil, he scratches that line. Then he discusses with his wife that Krishna is, though he is telling that he personally takes care of his devotees, he is not taking care at all. Like that he says. And he leaves to again other village to preach Bhagavad Gita. Then two boys come to his home. Boys come to his home and brings all the groceries sufficient for 1 year. And he, who are you? His wife asks. Then they tell, we are disciples of your Prabhuji Mataji. So we came to Prabhuji only sent this thing. So he gives all the all the groceries required for the entire year there, and he leaves. And while leaving, she sees that on his back there was one hunter, right? When with stick, once we beat, one symbol would be there on the body, no? ఒట్టి పై మీద చురుకైన దాంతో కొడితే మనకు మచ్చ పడుతుంది కదా బాడీ మీద. సో వీపు మీద ఆ మచ్చ ఉన్నది. సో దేర్ వాజ్ దట్ స్క్రాచ్ సింబల్ ఆన్ హిస్ బ్యాక్. సో you by now you might have understood who have come, right? So Krishna and Balaram comes and provides those groceries, and after the sage comes back, he again tries to unscratch it. Yes, he does take care of it. So he was very happy that Krishna and Balaram had come and taken care of it. But Prabhuji and Mataji, it's not just a story, It's not just a story. Even in this situation also, there are devotees who have surrendered 24/7 for them. Actually Krishna takes care of them personally. నమ్మటానికి ఎందుకు మనకు కుదరదంటే, ఎందుకు ఆ ఫెయిత్ రాదంటే, ఎందుకంటే మనం 24/7 చేయట్లేదు కదా. We are not performing devotional service 24/7, right? But believe me, there are so many senior devotees who have spent their life 24/7 for Krishna. They know it. They literally know it. And that's the reason why I say, whenever any senior devotees are coming, we need to take association of them. Speak to them personally. What is wrong in it? Talk to them. Give examples. Are there any leelas like that? Ask them. So that's what. So similarly, Draupadi has called for help. Karunakari Draupadi Pukari. Like that. Today's bhajan it has come. Draupadi Pukari. So he takes care. So in those days, chastity is something like more than death for Matajis. At that time, if some woman is getting naked, it's more than death for them. They prefer death than losing chastity. So like that, even there are a lot of cases like Padmavati in Rajasthan, where our Radhesham Prabhuji says, you know about Padmavati, right? Padmavati in the Rajasthan, one queen was there who was very beautiful, and an enemy wants to enjoy her, and he kills her husband. And he wanted to enjoy her, and she with fire, in fire she dies. She dies along with her dasis, almost 100 of them, right? It's a very popular, it's a real story also. Real story happened couple of 100 years back, I think, 100 or couple of 100 years back. When the queen, Mughal only, I think, some Muslim king, Khilji, yeah. So that has happened. So that's the power of chastity, And we, Radhesham Prabhuji says, I used to get doubt, why to kill in fire and that suffering? Simply she can have poison and die, Like that, he got doubt. So then later he came to know that if the body is there in present, there is a possibility that we can think negative about the body. People can talk negative about the body. But if it is completely completely burnt into ashes. There's no possibility, right? That's it.
One more thing.
Yes, sir.
It shows to public that they sacrifice like that.
Yes.
If they take poison or something,
Yeah.
nobody will.
Yes. We are people will remember us. Yes. So that's the power of chastity. People go to death also. So Arjuna asked that many devotees worship other demigods as part of worship. Even they finally say Hari Om, which is you only. Why they don't get benefited? There are a lot of people, devotees who worship other demigods, but eventually at the end of their worship, they quote that Hari Om, Narayana Samarpayami, something. Finally, they will utter Narayana Japam only. Finally, whatever they quote initially, Indra, Brahma, Shiva, and all, finally they say Narayana Samarpayami, Hari Om. But why they are not getting the benefit that Arjuna asks? Then Krishna says they are not worshipping properly, with proper guidance, with proper consciousness. Their consciousness is what? Krishna, Shiva, everyone is same. What benefit they will be getting? First of all, they don't want to get purified. They want benedictions without purification. మనకు వరాలు కావాలి, మనం ప్యూరిఫై అవ్వద్దు, మనకు వరాలు మాత్రం కావాలి. దేదే అంతే. Okay, so that's what he talks about. So worshipping Krishna in his universal form, already we discussed Vishwarupa Upasana. So Krishna is all pervading. So demigod worship, already we discussed this. Demigod, Krishna's complete production for Ananya Bhakta. So that's what we talked about. Ananya Bhakta, he gives complete production, Krishna. So some other worship, that's what, why do they not get liberation? See, they are doing it, but why they won't get liberation? Yes, they do worship me to Mameva Yajanti. However, they worship me without any rules for attaining me. Avidhi Purvakam. So Avidhi Purvakam is the one, I will worship you, but without getting purification, I wanted to worship you. That is called Avidhi Purvakam here. Avidhi Purvakam is the word more relevant because most of them, they wanted to get benefit without getting purification. So that's why they will not get the desired result. That's what Krishna says. They are not worshipping properly with proper consciousness. That's why they are not getting the results. But you do properly. That's what Krishna says. So one should know the position of Devatas and Supreme Personality of Godhead. So your destination depends on your choice. So if you are trying to you are only trying to worship the demigods accordingly, then your destination also would be like that only. So worshipping is very important. So that's what we talk about puja and bhajan. Do you know what is the difference between puja and bhajan? Puja and bhajan. Same point. So Krishna elaborated worshipping himself. Worshipping, we say puja chestunnanu, bhajan chestunnanu. What is the difference between puja and bhajana? This is the last lesson, glories of bhakti. So how to worship? Worship, we say puja and bhajana, right? What is the difference between puja and bhajana? What is puja and what is bhajana?
Puja is ritualistic with activities. Bhajana is
okay, I take that.
singing.
Okay, bhajana?
Singing. Praise.
I am looking for more apt answer. Puja and bhajan. Okay, in the interest of time, puja is something, puja is something you do for material gains. Ritualistic things you do for material gains. That is puja. మీరు పూజ చేస్తున్నారు, ఒక ఎక్స్పెక్టేషన్తో చేస్తున్నారు. నా బాబుకు ఉద్యోగం రావాలి, కృష్ణ నా బాబుకి ఉద్యోగం రావాలి, నా బాబుకి పెళ్ళి అవ్వాలి, నా బాబుకి బాబే పుట్టాలి, కూతురు వద్దు. These are all, materialist. You are asking for material benedictions with the expectation you are asking. That is puja. Bhajana is something with sheer love towards the Lord, without any expectation. You are crying. That is bhajana. Glorifying Lord and remembering Him without any expectations. Loving Him without any expectations. That is bhajana. Okay, so that's what Srila Prabhupada once a devotee, by name, his name is Ramakrishnan in Chennai, I think. Ramakrishnan in Chennai, he meets Giriraj Prabhu. He is one of the senior devotees. He meets Giriraj Prabhu and discusses about puja and bhajan. So like this, the topic comes and they go to Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada clarifies what is puja and what is bhajana. So we need to understand that bhajana, we should do bhajana, and the point is, one can say, okay, I will do bhajana for Lord Shiva. What is wrong in it? I will not expect anything. I will do bhajana for Lord Shiva or Lord Indra. Some logical people, PhD holders, logical people might say, right? భజన అనేది కృష్ణుడి కోసమే చేస్తాను, ఆ భజన నేను శివుడి కోసం చేస్తాను, ఆ భజన కోసం I will do for Indra without any expectation. I will do Hara Hara Shambho Shambho. I will sing. What is wrong in it?
They will be up to that point.
That's right. So the thing is, it is similar to you go to liquor shop and ask for milk. Will you get it? You go to liquor shop and ask for milk. Will you get it? No, right? It's in the same way that we need to go to the right person for the right thing. So yeah, Arjuna asks, what I don't have that much pure devotion in Krishna, then what I have to do? You have to, in your situation, you need to offer your results to me. That is your duty. That's what Krishna says. And Arjuna again asks, you kill demons at one hand and you save pure devotees at one hand. How are you able to do it? How are you able to do it? Actually, last time, I think the last week in Himanshu Prabhu was also there, I think. One devotee was saying, Shivaram Prabhu, that was the bhajan ga rahe the na? So he was saying that Krishna's eyes are very wonderful. He sees no faults at all. Like that he sang. Later he has not given any opportunity for asking any questions. So I took him in a railway station, I took him from that place. So while going I asked, you told Krishna sees no faults. Yes, Krishna sees no faults. Then why? He is killing one hand so many demons. Why are you saying he is not seeing so many faults? Without seeing fault, how he can kill? How he can? We have to see some fault in killing, right? So then he replied that class teacher is there. He loves the front benchers. He or she doesn't like the last benchers. It doesn't mean that he doesn't love, right? He don't love, right? See, for teacher, each and every student is equal. But there might be little inclination or love towards the kids who are toppers, because they hear to the teacher. And teacher punishes the backbenchers such that they are not disturbing the front benchers. Similarly, Krishna is not having any grudge. He is killing them just to give them another opportunity to correct them. With no grudge, he kills. So we should not take that in that way. Okay. So that's what Krishna tells Arjuna, that I do. Sometimes devotees are falling also, he takes care. Falling means sometimes Ajamila is there. Ajamila was situated perfectly in devotional service, but in the middle he fall down by getting an association with the prostitute. But later, due to his past devotional service, what he did, Krishna has given him another opportunity in the same life. It's not like other demons where he killed a demon and the demon has taken another birth to again get. But he has given another opportunity to the Ajamil in the same life itself. In the same life. And Krishna doesn't see that you are born in a low caste, Malechas, Yavanas, so many low caste people are there. He doesn't show any partiality. He has given this knowledge for everyone. He is not showing partiality that you have grown up in a Malecha family. How you can achieve me? No, he is equal. If you are completely surrendered to him, he is seeing everyone equally. Like that, lot of examples are there. Valmiki, right? What was he earlier? Huh? Huh? Angulimal. No, Angulimal is not.
He's a thief.
Huh? Dacoit.
Robber.
Yes. So there are a lot of the point. What I'm saying is, Krishna is so merciful that he only sees positives in you. Even when you do something negative, again he is doing same thing. Why is he doing? He feels for us, but you are not knowing at this juncture that Krishna is feeling for you. But when you are performing pure devotional service, you will understand even what Krishna is thinking about you. అరే ఎందుకురా భయ్, నీకు అవసరమారా, నన్ను చూసుకోరా బాబు, నన్ను చూసుకో, నన్ను కొలుచుకో, నన్ను ఇది చేసుకో, నా దారిలో రారా, నువ్వు ఎందుకురా మళ్ళీ మళ్ళీ డివేట్ అవుతుంది, ఎన్నిసార్లు నేను ట్రాక్లో పెట్టాలా నాన్న అని చెప్తున్నాడు. మనం వినట్లేదు, మనకు వినపట్లేదు. దట్ ఇస్ ద పాయింట్. కానీ ఆడవాళ్ళు బాగా ఇంక్లైన్డే, ఉమెన్ ఆర్ మోర్ ఇంక్లైన్ టువర్డ్స్ భక్తి బికాస్ దే హ్యావ్ సింపుల్ హార్ట్ రిలేటివ్లీ. ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? రైట్? లేడీస్ ఈజీలీ అట్రాక్ట్ అవుతాయి జనరల్లీ. ఈవెన్ ఏమైనా ప్రవచనాలు ఏమైనా జరిగినా కూడా ఆడవాళ్ళు ఎక్కువ వెళ్తారు. లాట్ ఆఫ్ లేడీస్ విల్ గో టు దిస్ భక్తి అండ్ దిస్ స్పీచెస్ అండ్ ఆల్. దే విల్ క్యాచ్ ద థింగ్స్ ఈజీలీ బికాస్ దే ఆర్ సింపుల్ అట్ హార్ట్, నాట్ కాంప్లికేటెడ్ లైక్ మెన్. రీజనింగ్ ఏంది, దాని తర్వాత ఏంటి ఇది, అలా ఏంటి ఏమొస్తుంది?
Some cases are asking, since childhood when I am doing Puja, what you are getting?
Yeah, similar to me actually. My dad, being a retired DSP, for correcting me, he took me to one lawyer. And he was trying to brainwash me. And he was telling, what by your Krishna is the ultimate, what is Krishna you are saying only Krishna is the ultimate. And then I told him, sir, which God you follow? Jesus Christ, he said. Sir, the thing is, if really wanted to discuss, I need to take 2 to 3 hours of time. Let us do our job. I think we came for some reason here. Let us do our job. But if you really wanted to discuss, give me 3 hours, we will talk. He was not having that time, and I left, he left. So anyway, the things are going on, but we need to understand this is the glories of bhakti. So we have seen the simplicity of bhakti. Krishna accepts anything offered with devotion. When we have seen again, when Vidura's दुर्योधन के भोग न खायो, विदुरा घर करते आयो, ऐसे प्रेम पुजारी राधेशा. So here the thing is, now people might get a doubt, why she has to give banana? If the bananas are there, why she is giving peel? Why not banana? Some people might get doubt, right? Because she was in ecstasy by seeing Krishna. She is not in the situation to know which is banana and which is peel. Okay, like that. She gives peel and he eats peel. So bhakti is very simple, Krishna contrasts the worships of devatas and his worshipping him is very simple. The simplicity of bhakti is Krishna accepts anything offered with devotion, anything, doing everything as an offering to Krishna. Okay, result of offering everything to Krishna, already we have discussed. Krishna excuses and purifies an imperfect devotee also. So bhakti unto Krishna does not consider not only the incidental faults arising by actions of a misbehaving devotee, but bhakti does not even consider the inherent faults of such person which arises from his very birth itself. It's not only about the faults what he is doing while performing devotion, but from the birth itself he might be born in a very low caste thing. Even that also never stops performing bhakti. There are a lot of, it will be surprising for you. There are a lot of devotees in ISKCON who were beef eaters earlier, Christians, beef eaters earlier. Now they are pure devotees now. So it doesn't see like that. That's what Krishna says. So the glories of devotional service, people of sinful birth also can attain Krishna. What to speak of qualified people? Leave upon qualified people. Even the sinful birth people also get benefit. So Krishna concluded the text 9.33 with the words of Bhajasva Mam, engage in loving service unto me. Now he clearly tells us how to do so. Let us quote this sloka together, this particular sloka alone. It is a very important sloka, and I request to by heart this sloka, very important sloka. Let us chant together. Manmana bhava madbhakto మధ్యాజీ మాం నమస్కురు మామేవైష్యసి యుక్త్వైవం ఆత్మానాం మత్పరాయణః మన్మనా భవ మద్భక్తో. ప్లీజ్ వర్షిప్ మీ, devoted to me, think of me, worship me. Namaskuru, Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru, pay obeisances unto me. Mame Vishwati Ektanto Atmanam Parayana. I would be taking care of you. Don't worry at all. Inta Krishna, inta assurance ichina manaku nammaka raade. Radu. Anyway, so this is the end of the chapter, 9th chapter. Next chapter would be about, Krishna told about bhakti and how to perform bhakti, and next he would be talking about his opulences. నా ఐశ్వర్యాలు ఏంటి, నా గొప్పతనం ఏంటి, అసలు నేనేంటి, నేను మామూలుండి కాదు, నా ఆపులెన్సెస్ ఏంటి. He will tell about his opulences in the 10th chapter. Okay, and anyone has any questions, please call it loud. పూర్తిగా అర్థమైన ఉండాలి, gone case అయినా ఉండాలి. Okay, yeah.
Next week we'll have class.
Yeah. Let me stop the